Listening Library presents The Last Tiger by Julia Riew and Brad Riew. Read for you by Julia Riew, Joshua Hyunho Lee, Intae Kim, and Soo-Jin Kim. With the author's note read by the authors. For our grandparents, whose love story inspired this one.
Who gave everything to make our lives possible. Author's note. Our late grandfather, Chungkyu Keith Riew, filled our childhood with boundless laughter and the sharpest of wits, and with countless colorful anecdotes about our family and ancestors. Above all, his favorite to tell was the story of how he met our grandmother, Hyun-soo. Before he passed away in April 2020, our grandfather often expressed hope that we would one day share his story. Date: November 8, 2016, 9:14 a.m. Subject: Our love story. Julia, interruptions prevent me to continue. Now I have a bad headache. I like to take a nap. My English is so terrible. I forgot so many English words to express my feeling. I will continue to write about what happened to me and Grandma in the beginning of the Korean War and how I found Grandma again in 1950 to 1951 and ended up in Wedding in 1951, etc. Could you make up a fictional story based on my description up to the point here? Grandpa. Our love story. This story is about our Hyun-soo, Kim Hyun-soo, and Chungkyu, Riew Chungkyu, love story that spans 1936 to 2016. When we naturalized into USA, it's a great tale, one of a boy and girl from opposite worlds who overcame immense hardship to build a life together. Our grandfather was extremely poor. Our grandmother came from wealth. Their chosen love, in a time of arranged marriages, was forbidden, a secret romance. Later, Chungkyu would join an underground, revolutionary student movement against the Japanese occupation of Korea. During the Korean War, they were separated, seemingly lost to each other forever, but remarkably were able to find each other once again. The following story is inspired by many experiences from our grandparents' lives during the Japanese colonial occupation of Korea. At the beginning of each part, we've chosen quotations that are taken directly from written accounts by both of our grandparents. While several elements of The Last Tiger are thus inspired by true events, we've obviously taken liberties with many of the details for the sake of storytelling. For example, while Korean tigers truly were hunted down and killed by the Japanese colonial government, magical key powers did not really exist in Korea or Japan in the 1940s. In another important example, our grandmother's family were not actually collaborators with the Japanese Empire. Rather, they actively fought for Korean freedom and independence. Finally, although this story is a work of fiction, the pain and fear, the long-held dreams, and, above all, the ability of the Korean people to survive throughout this period of history are all very much real.
Part 1. Chung.
The colonial rule of Japanese on Korean people was ruthless and devastating. We were harassed by any means by the Japanese policy of aggression. Our pastors and leaders were jailed without any reason. Their secret police present to all our services, and if one slipped tongue talked about any talk against Japanese policy, he disappeared from our society. One note I should mention here is that our love affair was top secret and is not opened to anyone, even our parent. We pretended no love relation at all the time, at church or anywhere when we are together in public. We enjoyed secret meeting in the park or old palace yard, but fearing someone may see us. Grandpa Chang-kyu, Keith, Riew. May 25th, 1928 to April 9th, 2020.
I was struck with the stark reality. I was spoiled by growing up in wealth and plenty and plethora of food, as much as we ever wanted. I knew that Chang-kyu's family was always short on funds. Though not major, I wanted to help in any way I could. I knew that the route of the streetcar Chang-kyu took was visible from my house higher up on a hill. So I would leave the light on in the window for him to look up and take some comfort. In the winter, we would close the shutters over that window to keep the cold out. But I would leave them open late into the night, until the time that he would already have passed by. Grandma Hyunho Kim Riew, born September 18th, 1929.
Chapter 1. Seung. The sky over the mountains today is too clear, too blue for the slaying ceremony. It almost isn't fair. The crisp fall air burns in my lungs as I step out of the house, blinking, my eyes slowly adjusting to the light. I massage my brow with one hand, trying to ease the stress lines there. I don't want to go down to the town square today. Of course I don't, but it's not like I have a choice. Wait for me, Seung, wait! My kid brother Hoyoung crouches by the door, struggling to fit his feet into his shoes. They're way too tight for him. He needed new ones long ago. Over his shoulder, he carries a huge empty burlap sack that falls across his back like a cape. What is this? I chuckle, lifting the long bag with 2 fingers. We don't need all this, Hoyoung. We're just buying some rice. What if we get a lot of rice? Hoyoung says hopefully. I don't think that's going to happen, I say warily. Not with the war and current food prices. Whatever we manage to pick up today, we'll likely have to stretch it to last the month. Still, Hoyoung seems happy to be carrying the comically large bag, so I let him keep it. I slide the front door closed behind us, shutting it on the faint smell of tonight's dinner, which Mom is preparing inside. A watery broth made from boiling turnips. You could call it World War stew. This is all we've eaten for months. Isn't Mom coming? Hoyoung turns back to look inside. She's waiting for Dad to come back from the mines. They'll come later. I pull him by the shoulder. Hey, Hoyoung, look at me, okay? I need to tell you something. This is important. My little brother turns to me with these huge, innocent eyes that practically knock my heart out. His 2 long bangs fall over his face. A lump forms in my throat as I brush them away. This kid is too young to attend the slaying. That's a fact. But if I don't take him with me today, we'll never hear the end of it from the police. No matter what happens tonight, don't let go of my hand, I tell him. Don't wander off, don't let go of me, no matter what happens. And when I tell you, make sure to close your eyes. I'm gonna protect you, okay? Hoyoung swallows hard, nodding fiercely. Okay, buddy, let's go. We turn away from the house, stepping onto the stone path that leads down to the village center. Already the sun is growing bloody orange as it descends toward the horizon. In a few hours, it will dip out of sight behind the thick mountains surrounding the town of Kido, dropping a thin, purple twilight over the valley. Out here, the air is clear and bright, scented with pine and mountain ash. I shake my head, trying to dispel the foreboding that has been itching at me all morning. Let's go! Hoyoung cries, running headlong down the path, his feet clapping over the stones. Obviously, he still doesn't really understand what's about to happen. I grimace and hurry after him. We definitely don't want to arrive late. I lead us along the shortcut off the main path, down the side trail that cuts beside the river. Fat, lazy mosquitoes drift in the air here. By the river's edge, tall, brilliant green reeds stick their heads up out of the shallows. The long ribbon.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?